Peace, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. Hope everybody's been having a great week and look forward to starting the work week tomorrow. So I got a video for you guys today, and I'm actually going to be showing my face because this is very important as I get into the aspects of management and how the conscious community mismanages, which is why this is called conscious management Black Incompetence. So I'm going to give people about 2 to 3 minutes to come in, get their popcorn, get their libations, get their drinks, and we will get started. All right, fam, it has been about 2 minutes, so I'm going to get started. So today's topic is conscious mismanagement, Black incompetence. And it reads, the conscious community loves to tell Black people what to do, but can't manage to save their lives or don't understand the concept of management in order to save their lives. Now, to give some background information, I currently work in management. I work specifically in construction management. So I deal with overall management when it comes to projects, making sure they're done on time. I've just recently started, but I've gained a lot of knowledge in construction management. I've enjoyed my time. I've been having a blast. So I do have some knowledge on this. I do work in an industry that deals with management. Okay. And this is very important because nothing can get done without management. You need management to make sure things are on time, making sure they are within budget, making sure that you're in constant communication with the people that you're working in. That's how important management is. Without management, nothing's going to get done. And I'm going to be talking about how the conscious community has been saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this for Black people, I'm going to be building this, and they don't get it done. And the reason why they don't get it done is one, their intent, but two, management. So there are a couple things that I want to break down. I'm going to be talking about what is management in different fields, aspects of management, mismanagement, and consequences of mismanagement, and particularly what it does with the conscious community. Peace underrated. Peace Michael McGarry. Peace to everybody in the chat that is currently watching. Okay. So, in the basic premise, what is management? If I were to tell you what is management, Of course, management is the ability to manage, oh, well, not use the word manage in the senses, but the ability to coordinate, the ability to plan, the ability to implement. That is the essence of management. What is management in business? Well, the business definition of management, Emeritus, according to Emeritus, is the coordination and administration of business activities, tasks, and sources to achieve a set objectives. Often includes supervision and training of staff, overseeing core operations, and designing company infrastructure to optimize for the future. What is construction management? Construction management, according to the CMAA, is a professional service that provides a project's owner with effective management of the project schedule, cost, quality, safety, scope, and function. So this is business management. This is construction management, to give a few definition examples of them in different fields. So this is what management is in different fields. So what are the aspects of management? Planning, organizing, controlling, and leading. Okay, so it is your job to plan for everything. It is your job to plan for when things are going to be done, who is doing what is the cost going to be. Organizing is when you are putting things together, making sure that you have the resources to put the personnel, put the job schedules all together. Controlling, making sure that things are getting done when they're supposed to get done. If it's supposed to get done in a week or two, it is getting done at that time. Okay? Unless there is something outside of your control, it is getting done when it's supposed to. It's falling within budget when it's supposed to. Everything is going according to plan and structure. And leading, setting the example, making sure that your workers are happy, making sure that people enjoy working with you, making sure that you're putting in the initiative to make sure that these projects are getting done. Sometimes that might mean going above extra hours. So instead of you working 8 to 5, you might have to work 8 to 6, or you might have to go as far as working 7 to 6. You don't have to do it all the time, or most of the time it's not even encouraged, but you have to go to a certain length to make sure that it's done and it's on schedule. You are taking that initiative, you're taking that leadership, you are taking that ownership. So now what is mismanagement? Because as you see on the thumbnail, it says mismanagement, fam, the money gone. And mismanagement is when you are not properly coordinating, properly analyzing, leading, or making sure things are functional. And so what are the consequences of mismanagement? Affects profitability, companies' budgets, employee turnover, decreases in productivity, decreases in morale. So that is the gist of management and mismanagement. So what does this do with the conscious community? We've seen, and it's important to list names. We're going to list names. You have the people like the Jay Morrisons, the Boyce Watkins, the Umar Johnsons that are giving these grandiose opinions or these grandiose ideas to Black folks without telling them how it's going to get done, what's the schedule, who they're working with, what are the agreements, what's the progress being made. They're telling you none of this. They're telling you we're doing this, we need that, but they're not telling you when, where, no transparency. They're not telling you none of this. And since I know construction, that's my bread and butter, I'm going to speak specifically Umar Johnson and his school and how specifically that falls into mismanagement and other ulterior motives. So Umar Johnson said he was going to build a school. Background story, okay? He said he started collecting donations back in 2009. He said the school was supposed to be open in 2014. It's been 10 years, 9 to 10 years, and it hasn't been built. Right there, that should be the first sign to every Black person. This is somebody not to work with, and this is somebody not to take their opinion serious. If you were serious about getting it done in 2013 and 2014, it would be built right now, and we would be seeing results. Unless there was something outside of your control, there are no excuses. And it's a failure on your part. Let me go in and let me pluck further. You have Umar Johnson going on the Breakfast Club, going on all of these platforms, talking about his school and what he's going to do for the Black community, and specifically Black boys and girls. Here are the questions that should have been asked. Umar, where's your general contractor? Where are your subcontractors? Where are your architects and engineers? Because when you are doing renovations, or you're in the process of building something, on construction plans, there is an architect, engineering firms, and the general contractor. They have the company name, they have the people, and where you can contact them. That is the first thing you see on a construction plan on its cover sheet. We have not seen his architects, his engineers, his general contractors, or any of the subcontractors that are working with the general contractor. We have yet to see it. Because you're upset that electricians, plumbers are not doing any of that. Sure, you can do that, but when it's a renovation project or you're trying to renovate a school, that is the job of a general contractor. The general contractor job is to make sure that there is communication going between the owner, among the owner, architect, subcontractors. That's what general contractors do to an extent. We are doing it. We are in constant communication with subcontractors. We're constantly communicating with the architect. We're constantly communicating with the owner. You, the owner, Umar, should be in daily communications with those architects, engineers, general contractors, and subcontractors. You should especially be in contact with the architect and general contractor, since they are, mainly the general contractor, since they're the one facilitating it. Making sure everything is going according to plan, making sure what is supposed to be ordered is being ordered. And yet we've seen none of that. Because it is those general contractors who have a team. That team is then going to go to that renovation spot, those sites, along with the subcontractor, to make sure things get done and making sure they are being done in a safe manner and according to standards. You have project engineers, you have superintendents, you have field engineers, depending on the project. You have all these different people that are overseeing the project, making sure things are getting done, and the subcontractors are getting their work done and making sure safety is being enforced. You have your school, and we're not even seeing none of that. We're not seeing a lick of it. I don't see no subcontractors. I don't see no masonry. I don't see no concrete. I don't see no plumbing. I don't see no HVAC. I don't see no doors. And I'm specifically going at him Because with knowledge of this, what I've learned, it's not how our project even is supposed to be going. It's a total disaster, a dumpster fire. An EF5 tornado came through that. It's just a microcosm of the entire conscious community. Say they're going to build Black Wall Street. Yet we ain't seen one building being built. Well, we maybe saw one building, but that's it, for their own benefit. We haven't seen employee development. We ain't seen business development, entrepreneurial development. We ain't seen no entrepreneurial ecosystem. We haven't seen none of that. And I want to bring this point home. Whenever you are doing a project and renovation and there is supervision to make sure things are going according to plan, making sure that workers are safe, making sure that everything is on schedule, there's something called a competent and a qualified person. They're two different things. They're similar, but they're two different things. A qualified person means they have the necessary certifications, resources, knowledge, experience to be doing what they're doing. A competent person is a person who has enough knowledge but is given the authority to make corrective actions. Umar is neither competent nor qualified. Most of these people in the conscious community are neither competent nor qualified. If you are a competent individual, you'll say, okay, we should get this done. This is my knowledge of politics. I took a course in political science, introduction to political science. I took advanced political science. I took public policy. I took an African politics course. I took these history classes. I have this much experience working in politics, working with politicians, working on the campaigns. This is what I know. And this is why I feel, or I'm competent to speak on this. That's how it's supposed to be done. That is the standard that you are supposed to be holding these people in the conscious community. And what was one of the points that I said about mismanagement? What were actually the two? Decreased productivity, decreased morality. As the great Holism said, the people in the conscious community break the spirits of Black people. And that is a prime example, mismanagement. Mismanagement is the prime example of breaking the spirits of Black people and Black people being completely demoralized. When they see you mismanaging, when they see you're not being serious, you're not doing safety, you're not doing your job, reaching out to architects, general contractors, engineers, making sure you're in constant communication with us, especially the general contractor, making sure that you're my signal went up. Saying, making sure that you're in constant communication with the architect, so you know what's going on and you understand the processes that is happening. It demoralizes the Black community. It demoralizes us. How can I have trust in you? How can the Black community have trust in you, or people in our community in general, if they see you are not doing your job in meeting expectations, meeting demand, meeting schedule, and meeting the requirements? How can they trust you? How can they trust us to build a community if we ain't telling them where the money going, you ain't being transparent, making sure people get refunds if it doesn't happen, making sure you have your own money, a contingency? How can people in the Black community trust you, or trust people in the conscious community, or the next Black person that wants to do something serious? This is serious business. People's livelihoods depend on this. Some people do this for a living. What you do affects your reputation, and it affects everybody around us and everybody around you, us, and in the community. Trust me, if a general contractor treats his subcontractors poorly or his architects poorly, every subcontractor will know about it. Word gets around fast. They won't. They won't want to. They don't want to rock with you. If they see this is how Umar Johnson behaves, or this is how Young Fair or whoever these people in the conscious community act, they won't want to work with you. They won't want to mess with you. Then they don't want to mess with the next black person because this is what their experience is. Y'all have got to, well, not we, because there's no we, there's no us, but the conscious community, which they're probably not going to do, need to hold themselves accountable. Or there needs to be an organization that holds these people accountable. And we have to hold these people accountable. If they're not meeting on schedule, you need to say, Umar, or people in the conscious community, you said you was going to get this done in a year. Where it at? Where the schedule at? Have the doors been ordered? What going on? You better be nagging them. We put our money in. They put their money in. These black folks put their money in. We demand to know where it's at. And if we can't, you better give it back to us. There is a standard with everything. There are standards, there are codes, there are regulations. The conscious community has no code, no standard, no nothing. They say black community get on code. Don't listen to them. They ain't got a code, because they had a code, they wouldn't be acting the way they're acting right now. These people cannot manage anything to save their life. And because of that, there's mismanagement. And of course, fam, where the money go? That is my shtick and my spiel. I'm going to be opening up. So anybody wants to get on can get on. Okay? I'm opening it up. So I'm about to put the stream, the link in the chat. And y'all can come on. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe too, y'all. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, y'all. Don't just the least you can do is hit the like button. Just hit the like button, y'all. Just all we ask is just hit the like button. Sorry, y'all. My connection is being a little bad right now. I do not know why. It must be the weather. But yeah, my thing has been back. Okay, the link is in. If you want to come on, I'd really appreciate you come on. If you have something you want to say, you can come on and say it. Thank you, Deontay. And it's the truth. These people say a bunch of nothing instead of what needs to be done. The simple nature and reality of it is all we in the Black community need to know if you're building a project. When is it going to get done? When is it going to get done? The schedule? That's all we need to know. We don't need to know anything else. We don't need any explanations. All we need you to do is tell us when is it going to get done. That's it. What's up, my brother Quasi? How are you?
Well, brother, how about yourself?
I am doing fantastic. What's your thoughts on this?
I'm driving and it's probably going to be a little noisy, so I do apologize. And I want to say thank you for your opening. You've done a great presentation. Um, I don't get involved with too many of these talks, but I am very active on Facebook and all kinds of groups and back and forth and dialogue with a lot of people in the African-centered community and in the cultural nationalist community, and then also with some of the folk who call themselves revolutionaries. One thing that I'm really discovering, I'm like talking to people almost like doing surveys or a independent study of what people are thinking and saying. And the responses I get when I critique Umar Johnson is always number one, what are you doing? Where's your school? What have you built? That's number one. Number two is it takes time and it takes resources, and people like you aren't supporting him, so you make it more difficult. Okay? So we have these broad responses to critiques and viable questions. Like you said a lot of things that are foundational, fundamental, basic questions and ideas that should be discussed publicly. Some people say, well, you can't talk about this stuff. You know, the white man know all our business. The white man know everything you're doing as long as you got a smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
These be public conversations, just like anything that we are aspiring to build that requires millions of dollars in manpower. I honestly believe that we're at a place in history right now as Black African people in America where the majority of us do not have the ability to just think critically. We just don't have the ability to think, to develop ideas, to ask questions. We just do not have the ability right now. And part of it is because we've accepted this preacher congregation exchange and context of delivering information. So there's no questioning, no critiquing, no analyzing. And furthermore, we have not developed the capacity to do the things that you said in mass. How does a building project work? What's involved? Who's involved? So we can't get things done on a higher level because we haven't prepared professionals to do these things. No one in their right mind would take one man seriously who jumps up and says, I'm going to open a whole school. Nobody should take that seriously. That's like me saying, I'm going to build a spaceship. Oh, where you going? I'm not going to leave the planet. I'm just going to build one and make sure it's functional by myself. Well, where's your team? Nigga, don't ask me all them damn questions, you hater. You understand what I'm saying? This
Yeah.
is where we at. This is just the state of Black America, the state of the African in America. We would rather sit back and be told what to do than develop the capacity to do things on our own. And when one person steps up and says, well, I'm going to do this, we say, well, we should support him because he's breaking ground where no African has gone before. Like he just developed a bridge from here to the moon or something. I hate to say it. I'm going to use this word. A lot of us are just plain retarded.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely not the right word, or definitely not the best word to use. Definitely.
That's all I got.
Vagoda, do you got anything to say?
That's all I got.
Do you have anything to say, Vagoda? Okay, well, he's not saying anything, but I will go piggyback off of Quasi's point. When you are building a school or you're building any sort of building, it's a company, it is a group of people. It is a group of people. Preferably, it is a business. It's not just an individual. It is a business. It's a business or a corporate entity. Not well, it can also be nonprofit. Okay, that group, either the school, the government, a business, they come and say, "Listen, we want to build a school. It's going to cost about $10 to $15 million for us to build this school." Okay. It's going to cost us $10 to $15 million to build this school. Okay. Once you know this is how much it's going to cost, okay, you have a bidding process. Okay. You
I'm
have
back. Now you hear me?
yes.
Okay, just a second. Okay, now I'm using my phone. Anyway, what I wanted to say that if somebody is want my money to build a school or do something like so-called go to space, then I have any right to ask where is the money going and who and what and why.
You do that. You have free will. That's not really an issue. The problem is there's a thing called transparency. You can donate to whatever you want. I can't control. I don't control your. I don't pocket watch. I don't do none of that. But whenever you are donating to something or you donating to somebody, there is a level of transparency. So, for example, let's say I need $1 million. Hey, y'all, can y'all donate $1 million? It is going into this fund and is going to be used to get me concrete so that I can build the sidewalks. Okay. I am working with this general contractor who has a subcontractor that is a concrete company. They transport the concrete, they work with the concrete manufacturer. This is who I'm working with. I need this much money. There is a level of transparency, and I can see the intention. I can see that this person is genuinely serious because it's not just them. It is them. It is the general contract. They are in the processes of doing stuff the correct and right way. Just giving money, hey, here's the money, and you not telling us where the money's going, who you're working with, that to me seems very suspicious. It seems there is an ulterior motive. That is important, and that also builds trust. Again, that is going to boost morale because I can see this is somebody who, when I say something or when I give him money, I know where it's going. I can trust him for him to be open and honest about where this money is going. I understand your point, but I need to have that trust and that confidence that the person that I'm giving my money to It's transparent. They got a team behind them. They have a schedule. Again, if something is done in 2014, okay, because as I said, working in management, if it's you need this done by, we're gonna use in the future, 2025, okay? You wanna build the school by 2025. Okay, by that time, the architectural plans, the structural engineering plans, the electrical plans, the mechanical plans, they all need to be set in stone. That needs to be sent to the general contractor so we can begin the processes of working with our subcontractors, the architect and the engineers, and getting everything on site, making sure safety protections. Because some things can take months to years to get ordered and delivered. It's one of the things we think we can just poof and things just show up. It takes months sometimes for materials to come in. And if you are not on schedule, we get delayed even longer and longer and longer, and we're wasting money. That's how serious I take this. For me, it's not just babbling at the mouth, because babbling at the mouth is cool. Everybody can do that. We all got guns. We can all flap them like birds. Okay. We can all do that. Okay. But what makes somebody serious about it is those steps. Is that, hey, man, to show you guys that I'm really serious about this, here is my contractor. Here are the subcontractors that they work with. They're some of the best in Savannah, Manhattan, Chicago. These are the projects that they've done. Here's them speaking on it. Here's them on site, following OSHA regulations, doing what they're supposed to be doing. This is them doing it. You know, we see, wow, job well done. You just being at your Delaware dumpster fire that he's at, and we don't see no project engineers, we don't see no superintendents, we don't see no foremen, we don't see no assistants, we don't see none of those, is a ground for concern. But that's just me. Let me read some of the comments. Then if some of y'all want to speak, peace and blessing. Ethel, how are you doing? Peace and blessings. Hey, peace, Ethel. My computer acting a little bit slow today for some reason. My computer's acting a little bit slow. Nationhood influencer, peace. Baruti on point as usual. Hold on, let me take this out for just a split second because this thing is.
I can say something for a second.
You can say something.
Yeah, I just want to say the last time that we talked, we had a little bit misunderstanding. I want to apologize for that. I didn't know that the woman that you talked about the last time that we talked was very important to you and was not just some lone celebrity or something. So that's about that. And I'm not a USA citizen. Like I told you, I wrote to you on some video that you did about what's the name of the basketball guy, the Kyrie Irving guy. If you remember my comment, just I want to say that I love to see your channel. Channel is very interesting, even if I'm not an American citizen. You are not. I don't hear you.
Sorry, y'all. My thing is having some chicanery right now with things, so just be aware. My internet connection is a little bit screwed up for some reason. So if
You're not the only one. My camera is also screwed up.
Really? Hold on. Because I know my thing has been utterly disastrous right now. Peace, Hollop. How are you doing?
Peace, your boy. Sorry, I was on mute. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry about that.
Any thoughts and opinions you got on this?
For the meantime, I'm just listening to everybody. I'll probably give my thoughts after everybody else is finished.
All right, Vagoda. Anything else you want to
Yeah.
say
Um,
about
not
this
much.
topic?
About the topic, if you ask me, I will not put my money in somebody that doesn't have a record that he's a trusting person to begin with. And in general, it depends on what he want to do, and if he's not able to make, if the plans aren't going to go out, if he doesn't going to get me back my money, then I'm not going to give him my money.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes with those guys, it's like a casino.
Basic etiquette, basic protocol. Treat somebody the way you want them to be treated, and have some level of professionalism. You know, I always say, like, for me,
Yeah.
professionalism is that key.
Jabari,
Yes,
can I be heard?
yes, you can.
I appreciate it. I'm just thinking like this is so much bigger than just, this one person, Umar Johnson or whatever. It's so many characters, right? And so many ideas. And if we were to go through every one, we would just destroy every idea and concept in the minds of Black African people in America. And we're just not ready to do that. Like it's unfortunate, there's so many different movements and projects and this thing, that thing. And I don't mind reaching out to people. I inbox people, I call them, I text them, and I ask the serious questions as an individual. Like if you're saying let's do this thing, how are we gonna do it and why? And people just get offended when you ask questions. You're either an agent, a detractor, or this the one they love to throw around, anti-African and Eurocentric minded. I'm like, are you serious? I'm asking, if you're saying we're gonna start a movement, a nationwide movement, and I ask you how are we gonna do it and who's coming to the cookout, and you tell me I'm asking too many questions, then I know you're full of shit. Period.
I agree with the brother. I agree with the brother. Can I say a little something to it to that
Sure.
point? I think that I know for a group like the BIIO, who we are, like the basis is: do you believe that Black African people need to establish a territory of their own where they're in control, right? So now, if somebody's coming into the group where they don't even believe that in the first place, and they're coming in asking questions, then it is within our right to say stop, because you're full of shit. And I'm not talking to you, brother, the one who was just saying that. I'm just saying because there are people who come in who are completely full of shit and just trolling, and they're asking questions where we've already answered like long time ago, and even in real time right now. So when somebody will come on and say, "Well, how do you think all Black people are going to go to Africa?" and it's like, dude, no one's saying that. So it's like it becomes a point of why are we wasting time talking talking to you if you're not really serious? And if somebody comes in with disingenuous questions, and we know when it is, and we're not gonna pussyfoot and act like we don't understand what's going on, that's different. Because we have encountered people who come on to the stream, ask questions, and we end up leaving the stream like, man, homie, you need to sign up. You are us. But we've also several times came across people who literally just want to come and try to sound smart, like they got all the answers, but they don't want to help. They just want to know where, what's this, what's that, what's that, what's that. No, I don't want to help. I just want you to tell me everything so I can see if I want to come and just look at you guys. You know, so I think it's just a part of that. Are we being genuine? Are we really asking questions for edification, or are we just sitting up there trying to make a point, try to maybe embarrass somebody, maybe try to make somebody seem stupid, instead of coming together saying, look, y'all, instead of fucking around playing, trying to figure out who's black and who's white and who's light skinned, trying to figure out who got a dick and who got a pussy. How about the people that just think that we need to protect ourselves and get away from these demons? How about us just work together and work towards that? And that's it. Instead of bullshitting. We bullshit so much, brother. So
Well,
fucking much, man. So
let me
much. And it's
respond
time
to
to
that.
stop.
I would.
Umoja, if I could respond to that, brother Umoja, I
Sure.
had in the past asked the BAIO those same questions, and it's fundamental and foundational questions. And brother Hollop took the time out to reach out to me and to educate me. And one
Yes,
thing I
sir.
look for is a program, an outline, similar to like the Nation of Islam or the Black Panthers. They
Pause.
got a
Pause.
10-point
Pause.
program.
Pause real quick. Pause real quick, bro.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
I know, but let me just say this,
Let
because
me
it's
just
really
get my
important.
thought out. Let me get my
But this
thought
is
out.
really important, bro. If you're
Oh,
looking for
hold
something in the
on,
BIO that's not there, all I'm saying is that you can do it. You can
wait a
create the
second.
program.
No,
You can do it.
no. You
Moja,
let
let
me
him
finish.
finish. Let him finish
Let me
first.
finish. I asked, where's the plan and the program? Where's the idea? Where's the structure laid out? And it is laid out on the website. All right.
That's what
Years ago, it wasn't there years ago, but it's developed now. It's there. All right. So I can appreciate that.
I was about to
And
say, Moja, let him finish.
And I actually had reached out to Brother Hobbs and say, you know what? This is the best idea. The BIO has the best idea. I've seen all the ideas now. Now I got it. I'm sorry. The BIO got the plan. I did that months ago, and he gave me a shout out. So I appreciate that.
That's awesome. Can
Everyone
I say
doesn't
something?
have an idea written down. If you don't
Right.
have things written down, an intelligent person has to ask you questions.
I know. Can I say something to that, though? Can I say something to what you're saying? Because it's really important, and I really appreciate you saying, shut up, boy, and let me finish. This is what I want to say about how we as the BIO get down. If you see something that's not in the BIO, we don't believe in just saying, well, this isn't here, this isn't here. We say, look, sir, if you are part of this, you literally can create that. If you want a 10-point plan, you can create a 10-point plan for the BIO and bring it to us and say, hey, y'all, how does this look? And we just slap that bitch right on the website. We will promote it. We will throw it out into the ether. It's that simple. So what happens is that somebody who's really intelligent like yourself, they will come around, but what they will do is just talk about what's not there and then use that as an excuse not to help. The idea is that we need the help. We need your ideas because you have an idea that Umoja doesn't, man. Your people that you know has an idea that Jabari doesn't, that Holland doesn't. But if we just sitting on the outskirts saying, see, y'all ain't doing it like that, we need this, we need that, but nobody's coming to actually fucking help, then it will never get done. So the idea is to just bring your genius, bring your ideas, and let's work. Let's work. And if something doesn't work, we throw it out and do it again, man. Not just talk about what's not being done. Let's just do it. That's all I was trying to express is that we're here, we're open, man. If something is not there, create it and let's watch it work.
Absolutely, I agree, and I appreciate that. But I would say, you know, we don't have to waste time with those kind of folks. And 9 times out of 10, they're not going to show up anyway. People don't necessarily. Let me say this.
You are us.
When's the last time you went to the opera?
Probably in elementary school when they talked about killing Abraham Lincoln.
So I'm using that to say, you know, we don't expend our energy in places where we don't see an interest. You know, if a person, that's why I said what I said earlier. I used that word and I apologize, but you know, the retarded word. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But
no, yes, you can.
What's wrong with the word retard?
Yeah,
nah, we not.
I don't see any stuff.
Insulting people today, Umoja. We're not doing this today. Not today.
Yeah,
I don't see what's wrong with that word anyway.
No, we shouldn't use stuff like that to identify people. But seriously, people don't show up.
For some people, it's a compliment.
Just
think about it.
They're intellectually challenged. They
Yeah,
are deeply intellectually challenged.
people don't show up in places that they don't have an interest to unless they're just crazy. All right, unless something's just mentally wrong with you, you're not gonna come and show up at a BAIO session not knowing anything about it at all or having an interest. When people show up and do weird stuff and say weird things, they're just mentally challenged, like the brother said.
And and to get back to the topic of mismanagement and management and mismanagement is that when an organization is managed and they're managed properly, things are basically on autopilot. And what do I mean by that is that everybody knows their role and everybody knows what is to be done. If somebody's not fulfilling their role, that person is held accountable. We always say that there are a lot of organizations and we don't make any progress. And part of the reason why is because organizations themselves don't hold themselves accountable. For example, if your organization says that you are supposed to be providing food to Black communities that don't have the means to sustain themselves or they live below the poverty line, and I'm not seeing food is delivered, I have to ask those questions up and hold you accountable and say, yo, you said the food was supposed to be ordered and delivered by June or by this week. Let's say June, but in a date. And it's July and it hasn't been delivered. What is going on? Okay. It's that kind of stuff that has as a result of mismanagement and leads to the frustration and wasting people's valuable time and energy. Because if your intention is, I want this food done, this food is supposed to be delivered by the end of the week or in June, it needs to be done by Monday or Tuesday. And it's your job and it's people in the community's job to hold that person and say, okay, listen, this is your role. I understand you got if you got something happening that is okay, but it is your role and it is your responsibility. And it is your job to make sure it gets done. And I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm in construction management. So it is my job to make sure that I fill out a schedule and that things are being delivered on site when they are supposed to be delivered. I'm calling subcontractors. I'm handing out, I'm submitting submittals to architects. I'm making sure all this stuff is done. And I think in the conscious community, that is not happening. People are not doing their role. You said you are a community leader. Fill in that role. Don't come at us and say, why you questioning me this? Why you doing this? And y'all ain't doing anything. Okay. Let's say, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You say we ain't doing nothing. Fair enough. At the end of the day, you signed up to be a community leader. You chose to be the leader. That is your responsibility and that is your role. And if you can't manage that responsibility, then take your behind somewhere else and let somebody else lead. Because
Brother
Jabari.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Sure.
First of all, what is the community that you, the sensitive what you call them?
The conscious community?
Yeah, what is exactly that community?
Okay, this is
This isn't the. Go ahead, Jabari.
I'm not supposed to ask this, huh?
Yeah, the conscious community is those hoteps, the we were here first, the we are Moors, we are everything, we ain't African, we are or we
the Black Hebrew Israelites, for example. The Black Hebrew Israelites, for example.
Yes, those kind of people that think that they're holier than that. Like those are people we call in the conscious community. Think they are of superior knowledge that we in the regular Black community just don't know what we're doing and we're lost and we don't have common sense. Those are the folks I'm talking about.
Brother Jabari, can I interject? And I don't want to talk too much, but
no, you can talk.
You should call them the crazy community.
the crazy community. Now, to respond to what you were just saying last, I made a post on Facebook about this recently, and it sums up the major challenge. Here's the major challenge. We have all of these Pan-Africanists, Garveyite, African-centered groups and individuals and organizations and things of that nature. Here's the fundamental problem with mismanagement, with leadership, with objectives. Here's this fundamental problem. People are starting these organizations, these movements, and these programs so that they can get some profit out of it.
Yeah.
That's the underlying problem. And the reason why things don't form cohesion is because this thing is designed as a model with a label. Let me turn my camera on. This label says Black liberation across the top, right? It says Black advancement or Black movement or progress or whatever at the top, right? But the person who came up with that idea has attached a way for them to gain some income from it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get anything done with someone who has a profit motive intertwined into that thing. And I said this on my post. Harriet Tubman and Nat Turner didn't do the work they did for a fee. They didn't have a fee involved in what they were doing. And now I know the pushback comes, well, we need money. We got to get money. Go to fucking school and get a degree or a certificate in something that will make you some money, and then go do your liberation work collectively with some other like-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to build an income off this thing and call it Black liberation.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You're
Black.
supposed to be making money off of what basic stuff in the economy. You are supposed to be making money off of selling goods to Black people, providing people a service.
Yeah.
That's how you make money.
But we are in a system. We are in a system that capitalizes on anything that can be monetized. And the fact that we have allowed the destruction of our people to become a genre. It's a music genre. It's an entertainment genre. It's a movie genre. Literally, racism, oppression of Black folks is a genre. It's an entertainment genre that makes a lot of effing money, y'all. And we've allowed that though. We have our hand in that. So what goes on is that our problems are so multifaceted that we literally are confused. We're confused on even where to start. But us at the BAIO know that having our own nation will solve so many of these problems. Yet, we still have to convince people. We still have to talk to people. We still have to talk about these problems. We still have to talk about HBCUs. We still have to talk about all these things. Mind you, all of these things matter 100%. However, when you talk about divide and conquer, when you talk about confuse them, that is exactly what's going on with us, and we just keep falling for it over and over and over and over and over again. Instead of saying, "Hey, y'all, all these different groups. Here's what the BIO is doing." Sorry, y'all, to just put this out here like this, but this is what we're doing this year because a lot of our trip planning is we're gonna do Atlanta again in the summer. So we're gonna do a Pan African Congress or Pan African. What is it called? They used to do them a lot. We're gonna do
That
that
sounds
this
fun.
year, 2023. This year, 2020. No, we're gonna do that. We're gonna invite all these organizations, and what we're gonna do is talk about who's here and wants to establish our own spot in Africa. Whoever don't buy, whoever is, let's all start our this thing. So we're working for something that's gonna change something. Not just doing hamster wheel activism, going around in circles, doing the same shit since the 60s, y'all. Hamster wheel activism over and over and over again, doing the same thing, expecting something to be different. It's insane.
Ooh.
So let's just get the people that's ready to go and let's fucking
Ooh.
go, man.
Ooh.
It's not that hard as we making it.
Mm.
We making this shit hard, falling for the damn game, falling for the game that we
Mm.
know is being played. Like we're retarded. Jeez.
Please. Oh my God. Mindful Black Dad, I love what you said. I think this is so important too. They don't provide benefits to the people in their organization, and that is so true. That is so true that you said that. When you are running an organization, And this is why we haven't taken any money. That's why we haven't, did all this stuff, because we got to give people benefits. Okay. People are going to do stuff for us, but they got to get benefits from it. Whether or not that is healthcare services. Well, not healthcare services, will be universal in when we go back to Africa, but benefits, whether or not it is gift cards, certificates, awards, appreciation. There's got to be those benefits. Notice how these people in the conscious community never get benefits to say, you know what, thank you guys for giving me 1,000 hours of service. I'm going to give you this award and this much amount of money or a gift card to show my appreciation. They never do that. It's just give your money, give your time, and just dispose of you in a dumpster. And that goes into management. You got to have that in your budget. And so, it's an unfortunate thing. And I would even say mainly middle-class Black people. I wouldn't say that the membership and leadership is mainly middle-class Black people. I would just say that's one of the main reasons why membership and leadership is with narcissists. Let's call it's narcissists that have most of the membership and leadership, because they want to feel aggrandized. They want to feel self-centered. They want to feel the attention, which is why most of our leaders have a huge ego. If you call them out, they get mad, or they get mad when the attention is not on them. And this is just a consequence of it. So, I suppose I gave my gist. Holla, anything you want to say?
I know somebody had asked, what is the conscious community? There really is no such thing.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of people. Yeah.
Asking what the conscious community is like asking, what's Wakanda or something. It's like it's fictional. It doesn't really exist.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the topic, this is something that I've been struggling with, most of my time in the cultural conscious community. And I'm going to label it everything we're doing as such, because it's in that umbrella term. It's just unfortunate that even for selfish reasons, you would think that the people in the upper echelons of our culture don't do things to secure power for themselves. I mean, just on a selfish level, like when you look at the way that the Chinese operate in America or the Italians operate in America, it's not like they doing things for their people because they just got so much love. They doing it for selfish reasons because they like power. They want their people to have, socioeconomic and political power. I just don't understand why the people in our culture, the people who have something to lose, don't try to obtain power or hold power or position themselves where they can have leverage in anything. It's just like they just happy to be along for the ride. That's the sense that I'm getting. It's like all of our, like the perfect example is what happened to Ye recently. This dude goes off the reservation and loses half his wealth in a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm. Kunye, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why? I mean, is it? And I have a few, like a lot of times, like it makes me feel like how I did when I was 21. I feel like, well, maybe he just doesn't know. Maybe nobody's communicated with him. I refuse to believe that.
He knows what he's doing.
I refuse to believe that. Why is it that somebody like him doesn't go overseas where they have much more power and much more influence and bring some of his rich buddies with him? Y'all can go to a piece. You ever this? I know this is going to sound crazy. I just saw this this show with Sylvester Stallone called The Tulsa King. It was about the overview of the show is it's a mob guy who did time because he didn't snitch on his people. So when he got out, he came back, and instead of them giving him his old position, they kind of banished him to Tulsa. And what did he do? He went to Tulsa and created a power structure of his own and said, you know what, screw y'all. I don't even want y'all no more. I own Tulsa now. I'm the boss here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody gets it, but yet we sit around confused about, like, oh, here's another thing. I have to mention this. And you know what I'm talking about because this happened within our inner circle. One of the members, Kamal Makasi Tahuti, a lot of the old school holla people remember him. I hosted a couple of debates with him. He was using an AI program, right? And he asked the AI program, "How do you start a nation?" And I swear to you, people, I'm not going to go through everything the AI said, but after the AI was finished, you would have thought that the AI was BAIO. The breakdown of how to start a nation that the AI gave him was exactly the talking points of the BAIO. That tells you all you need to know. This is not stuff that we're just pulling out of our ass. This is common sense stuff that even an AI computer knows what to do. But yet you have people in our community who call themselves leaders or call themselves representatives and black talking heads and conscious and black power and all the rest of these things. And they can't quite figure out what black folks need to do to get out of the situation that we're in. That tells you all you need to know. And I've gotten to the point where I've gotten so many examples that nationhood is the answer that it's not even an arguable point anymore. I don't even want to have
We
those
just
discussions with anyone anymore.
we just
It's
had one. We
nothing
just
to
had one
talk
2 days
about.
ago.
Yeah, it's nothing to talk about anymore. If you don't know that that's the answer to our collective problems, you are a moron, or better yet, you're a coward.
Hollow, brother Hollow.
Yo,
Consider this idea, and I'm telling you this from, again, just my personal. I like to say a personal research study. When you talk to these people, they have a goal of acquiring nothing more than a comfortable room on the Titanic.
yep,
That's it. They don't want to talk about repatriation. They don't want to talk about the African continent. They don't want to talk about land infrastructure and nationhood. They don't. Their concept of winning is having a black business in America or building a following that pays them a a living wage where they can stay in America, collect money from struggling black folk, and take pride in not having to go work for the white man. That's
right.
the end game.
That's the
I
end
can
game
go
for
down
them.
the
I
list
want
and call people's names, but this is what they're doing.
I want to go on to this point. Look at what just happened. A prime example. Florida right now with the AP African American Studies class. That's all. That's all I gotta say.
Hmm.
He said, "Why can't we have an AP African American Studies class? It's not of educational value." That's literally what they said. Yet y'all want to stay somewhere where they literally said, "Why can't we offer an AP African American Studies class? It lacks educational value."
And the only way you can come to that conclusion is if you have no interest in obtaining socioeconomic and political power. So then the question to me becomes, then what is this black stuff all about? Why are we posturing black power? Why are we talking about cultural appropriation and all this um woke topics that everybody keeps talking? What is the purpose of it if you're not trying to obtain socioeconomic and political power?
Bend the knee.
Just bend the knee. That's how I feel.
And
People think I'm joking. I'm dead serious. Why do I don't want to hear black talk for another 30 years. If you don't believe that you can beat this man, kneel to him. Kneel to him.
Yo.
Give the fuck up and let him run with the society, and then listen to what he says, because obviously you care more about what he says than you do about your own self. You don't have no confidence in yourself. You don't have no confidence in your people. So then what the hell are you fighting the white man for?
Yo, this comment takes the cake. This comment takes the cake. I had someone literally ask me once, what is the benefit of freedom and independence?
I'm
Bruh.
asking the same thing. What is the if you I don't understand this black shit. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get why we keep talking. Well, do you know the ancient blacks built the pyramids? Oh, do you know that this? I don't give a fuck. How is that relevant to anything? If we don't feel that we can take that knowledge and do something with it, what the fuck are we talking about it for? Like I said, black people believe in white supremacy more than white people do. So if you do, and you believe, I've had black people tell me there's nothing you can do, no matter where you go on the face of the planet Earth, you're going to deal with white supremacy. And
So
the best answer that I've gotten to that is that debate, so-called debate between Tariq Nasheed and that white dude. The white dude's response to that was, I guess you guys are out of luck.
And then what do they say? And what do those same white supremacists say? Well, what about Asian countries? What about China? What about Japan? What about Korea? I mean, did people like this is what we mean, like this defeatist mentality, like, oh well, white supremacy is global. No, dip Sherlock. Racism exists globally. Or white supremacy exists globally. But fool, there's something called levels to this. Okay? Living in Africa is not the same as living in America. Sure, you got a couple of internalized racism there, but would I rather be around a bunch of black folks, or would I rather have to deal with it every day? Because you might get some internalized, but it's not geared towards the entire collective. It's just that one individual. It's like people look, it's like what they're looking for an excuse, Okay? And white people are not, and they treat them like it's a religion. Let's call y'all treat it like it's a religion.
Yeah.
It's a religion to y'all.
Yeah. If the white man is God, it sounds like you should be praying to God. It sounds like you should be kneeling to God. If you believe that the white man is God, then what are you fighting him for? Why not preach to black folks to bend the knee to the white man in America? Just do that. Because you obviously you're not down with what we're trying to do. People are scared to death to sign up to be with a bunch of people who's trying to do something and build somewhere else. They're scared to do it. We got to literally beg people to sign up to our website and be a part of the BAIO. We got to beg them. Like I've had people tell me, this is so funny. They tell me, well, you know, I don't just sign up to stuff. I gotta do some research before I sign. But yet they got a Facebook account, they got a Twitter account, they got a YouTube account, TikTok account. They got all these social media accounts. But when it comes to anything black, now all of a sudden we got home. Let's see. They start getting their thinking caps on. Like, well, is this right for me? I mean, is this something I should be engaging in?
Let's go even further. Y'all will talk all this black stuff saying, I won't wave an American flag. I won't do none of this. Okay, so what country are you going to play for in the Olympics?
Right.
If you want to make Olympics, I'm not going to play for this because this ain't my country. Okay, so then what country you going to play for?
Right. Right. They sound like, and I hate to say this, but it's accurate. They sound like a bunch of hoes on the stroll talking about their pimp and how he ain't acting right and how he bust their ass the other day and I don't care. They sound like hoes. And just like those hoes on the scroll with their little purse and their high heels, they are not interested in obtaining any type of power away from the pimp. And instead of getting mad at Hollop and getting all upset and triggered by what Hollop is saying, Prove Hollop wrong. Y'all a bunch of bitches.
He
And
said,
we're
I mean,
all collectively suffering because people don't want to get off their ass and get involved. So if you don't want to get involved, you know what my suggestion is? Bend the knee to white supremacy. Because obviously you have more confidence in that than you do in your own black ass.
This right here. You live in a house with the domestic violence going on every day, and you complain about it all the time. Someone says, "Why don't you move out and go live somewhere else?" Well, domestic violence is everywhere.
There you go. No matter where you go, you're gonna get your ass busted. White supremacy is everywhere. We can't go. Where you going to go? Where you can't get away? So then it sounds to me like white supremacy is God. It sounds to me like you can't escape white supremacy. It sounds to me like white supremacy is always going to be on top and you're going to be on the bottom. So if that's your reality, if that's truly what you think, then surrender.
And you know what? And holla. And you know the thing that they don't unintentionally are aware of, when you say that statement that white supremacy is everywhere and there's nowhere we can run, there's nowhere we can go with white supremacy, and white supremacy is this powerful, what you're basically saying is you're trying to sound like you're conscious, you're woke, but you're just reinforcing an inferiority complex.
There you go.
You're not proving that you're conscious or you're an above level. You're just reinstating your inferiority complex, because if you really believed that we could overthrow white supremacy, you'd be like, all right, we can go over to the African continent where our people are and we can get stuff going. We can make moves start.
Yeah, you know what we would do if we really didn't believe in white supremacy? En masse, people would be supporting Liberia. En masse. Liberia would be claimed, you know what? This is our nation state. I'm no longer an American. I'm Liberian. Simple. Simple. You know why it won't happen? Because they want to be Americans. And if you want to be Americans, then the white man is your God. The white man is in control. Bend the knee, and maybe if you're lucky, you can be a cupbearer in his government or his power structure. If you're lucky, that's the top position that a rich Negro can obtain in the white man's house. The top cupbearer in the land. Because you're never going to challenge him in terms of power, because we don't feel that we can build infrastructure. We don't feel we can build roads and highways. We don't feel that we can have our own government and tax our own citizens. We don't feel that we have the capability to do that, even though we were the ones, according to them, that started civilization. We were the ones that started it. We were the ones that started government and all of this other structures and stuff that people are operating fully at now and taking it to the next level. But according to the black talking heads and the people that's in power, black folks, it's crazy and ridiculous for black folks to even think about having a nation of their own. It's crazy talk. What we should do is try to fight for equality within the white man's structure. And my only thing is go all the way. No more. I don't want to have a Black History Month. Get rid of it. Why do you need a Black History Month if you're American? We should all be American. As a matter of fact, get rid of all of these ethnic holidays. Get rid of all of this talk of diversity and all of this stuff. You are no longer Black. You're no longer Italian. No longer Chinese. You no longer associate with your motherland. You're all American. And then this country will come together.
And then let's go a little bit before we close out. Then when you say we need our own nation, they'll say, oh, well, that did happen in Liberia and it went an utter disaster. That's the argument they'll use.
Right. And you know what the argument I'll use? Did the Giants lose? They lost yesterday, right? So I guess that's it. No more football. They're not playing next season, right? It's funny how when it comes to sports, we understand the concept of next season, but when it comes to nationhood, one and done. Oh well, we tried to have power, but I guess that didn't work. That's like you tried to stand up and piss in jail and you got beat down. So I guess it's no more standing up to piss anymore. That's done with that. I guess I'm not a man no more. It's funny how like our brains are so disconnected, so segregated, that we can understand something when it comes to one thing and then totally not understand the same thing when it comes to something else. How come people still trying to reinvent Black Wall Street? Didn't that fail? Oh, but wait, we can do it again when it comes to Black Wall Street, but when it comes to Liberia, oh well, one and done. You know what it's called? It's called Negro stalling tactics. No longer am I believing that people don't understand what the fuck is going on. Everybody understands what's going on. What it is that some people have chosen to fight for power and fight for socioeconomic and political power and control over the environment. And other people have decided that it's much easier to be a bitch. That's it.
To answer Ali Colin's point, no. There's only one BIO. It's BIOAfricanStand.org. It is not the Ning site. Because he was asking, are there two BIOs? No, there's one. We do. Bomani is not part of this group. None of them are part of this group.
There's only ever been one BAIO. What happened was somebody decided that they were going to splinter themselves and create what they call their version of the BAI. The logo that was created for the BAIO was created by a friend of mine who recently passed. The people who are the administrators of the BAIO have always been the administrators of the BAIO. It has never changed. The only thing is that you had somebody who was a fraud and a phony and a coward and a traitor who decided to confuse people by trying to split the brand instead of just going their own way and do whatever the fuck they want to do. He's a coward, he's a traitor, and he hates Black people.
And I won't name his name, but guess what? He was the same person where you see on my avatar had the BIL Liberia logo. When he was doing his video, he just miraculously had a BIL Liberia logo. And that was one that Hollip designed for me.
A traitor. You don't even have the ability. If you're going to go away and start your own thing, I have no problem with that. Start your own thing. But when you try to imitate where you came from and the group that was there before your ass even came around, you're a fucking traitor. And I don't ever want to hear that nigga say anything about the Nation of Islam.
Oh.
I remember before he used to, the Nation of Islam used to be together. And then you did the exact same fucking thing. A coward and a traitor. And who doesn't give a damn about Black people, only cares about their own Black ass. That's the reason why, another reason why that particular person isn't with us, because he's trying to get money from the people. And I always said, what the fuck do we need money for? We don't need money. What we need is people. We need people that's dedicated to trying to get this nationhood thing started. That's why I don't ask people for money, and I never will ask people for money to be a part of the nation of the BAIO. We don't need money. We need people and we need energy. If I want to go to Africa, I'll go on my own dime. Nobody got to pay for me. Unlike some people.
And if we did, we'd be transparent about it.
Yeah, anything that has to do with money, with the BAIO, is going to be transparent. It ain't going to be no GoFundMe bullshit. No Patreon bullshit. No Indiegogo. None of that bullshit. It's going to be above the board. And it doesn't have to be, and if anything, it doesn't have to be for the BIO, because the BIO doesn't need money. What we need is people willing to dedicate themselves to the organization and to the cause of nationhood. That doesn't require any fucking money. It doesn't require any money to click on a video and say you like it. It doesn't require any money to share a video. So anybody that's calling themselves so-called BAIO and they out here asking for money, they are not a part of the BAIO.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah, for me, that stance is very important. That's one of the most important stances to take when you talk about organizing. My wife and I follow one conscious community pimp and lost several thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And after that experience and talking to other people who lost money, the concept and idea of nation building, if it's not a collective project where everybody is financially supporting that collective project, where there's not one Negro's name on the top of the list,
Right.
then we just be leery. We can't operate that way. And
I
for
always say, if there is not a team of individuals, red flags instantly go for me. If I don't see a team, if I don't see companies, I don't see contractors, I instantly red flag ain't donating.
The red flag for me is asking for money in the first place. A
That
lot of
is
these
true.
dudes, a lot of these dudes are broke. They don't have nothing going on in their personal lives. They don't have nothing in their own name. They don't have an apartment in their name. They ain't got a car in their name. Everything is in somebody else's name, or they living vicariously through somebody who got a corporate job.
Mm-hmm.
Jabari has a career. I have a career. Nationhood influencer, people in the BAIO have careers. They have lives. They have families. We're not asking anybody for a goddamn thing. So the people that's asking for shit, just know this: they broke. That's the reason why they asking, because they want you to finance their existence. You ain't got to finance my existence.
Hey, and that was one of the things, Holla, that goes back to the topic I said earlier. If you want to build a school, it's not usually an individual. It's a team of people. It's a company. It's an organization. It's the county. They have the money. They say, listen, I need you to build this school for me. I have the budget is $10 to $15 million. I can pay you 10 to 15 million. You are supposed to have that money, and you're supposed to give it to us, and we take care of the rest of it.
Yeah. So if you got anybody, Ali, Cologne, if you see anybody pretending they the BAIO, just look out for their little PayPal or GoFundMe sticker. That way you can tell who's who. Because we're not asking for money. They are. Get a job, nigga.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got $1 million mansion and drive a Bentley. Yeah, they asking for money. Yep. Rep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. This is why I had to do this whole live stream today that I felt was so important, because mismanagement is the apex of Black incompetence. And you wonder, and you wonder why? Because of mismanagement, because people are taking money, that Black people are demoralized. As I said, Holla, break the spirit of Black people. Mismanagement, the ultimate result of mismanagement is lack of productivity and destroying morale. And
I actually, Jabari, think that the purpose of the so-called conscious community is to break the spirit of Black people. Mm-hmm. I think that that's the reason why it exists. And what happened with Quasi, am I saying your name right? I hate mispronouncing people's name. Is it Quasi?
Quasi.
Quasi. The thing that happened with him, what that does, the damage that does is, let's say that he is obviously a person who wants Black people to do better and wants to see his people in power. He gets with these people and they take advantage of his want, and he gets burned. What's his motivation to get involved with anything else again? And could you blame him?
Nope.
If he said, I don't want to be involved with no organization, I couldn't even be mad at him.
That's my wife. My wife quit. My wife gave up. We changed our names to African names. We've done all this stuff that these cultural nationalists said we should do. Went to the continent and did African spirituality. And then in the end, we lost like $5,000, sold our house. We thought we were going to repatriate. But then we get to Ghana and we see that we're financing these people's lifestyle over there off of our American paychecks. And my wife grew up. She was like, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want nothing to do with no Black.
That right there deserves the death penalty. I don't even believe in the death penalty.
Same.
I don't. But I think that there's certain things that, because you're not only breaking that family spirit, you're breaking down. That's the reason why the BAIO has had such a difficult time getting members, because of all of the bullshit that came before us. So I understand it. I totally understand why people are reluctant to be involved. But one thing I will tell you is this: Ain't nobody asking you for no money. Nobody's trying to take dollars out of your pocket. And we understand that you got to do for you and your family. We understand that. That comes before anything. All we want is a bit of your time. That's
I was
it.
about to ask that question. Like, and I know we're gonna wrap up, but in conclusion, as an individual and as a family, if I say I really do, I like the BAIO as an idea and as a movement. What do we do? If I was to say I'm a member of the BAIO, what could I do to support and promote this concept of land infrastructure and nationhood in my day-to-day life?
The bare minimum is we create content. Well, I'm gonna give a two-pronged answer. This is if you're not a content creator. If you're not a content creator, the bare minimum that you can do is share the videos, like the videos, and comment on the videos at the bare minimum. If you look at every video that the BAIO has ever produced, you will see a comment from Hollip on it. I've shared every video that the BAI, when this is over, I've already shared this to my whole social media circle and it hasn't even ended yet. So that's the bare minimum. After that, then whatever your profession and your skill is, bring it into the circle.
Yep.
So that's it. Whatever your skill and whatever your profession is that you can bring into the circle to help us understand. Like, let's say if you're a person that's into the legal field, bring that into the circle.
Get more people. Get more people.
Get
just,
more
just speak to
lawyers.
people. Because we're gonna be doing our part, and I want you, Quasi, to know that as well. We're gonna be doing our job. It's not a freeloader. Nobody's free riding on somebody else's bag. You do your little thing, and we'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, like if you got somebody that's an accountant or somebody who's whatever, a dentist, it doesn't matter. Whatever the skill set is, maybe somebody is brilliant at video editing. I was talking with Underrated about this. Like, there's people that can cut up clips and put them on TikTok and stuff like that. That's how people gain notoriety. That's how people become viral. We don't, and right now we don't have somebody in our midst that can do that. Maybe somebody that's their skill set. Anything that you do that's a skill set, bring it to the group. And if there isn't a group for it, we'll start one and create one and build up and get more people involved in that. So and you notice none of that required you coming out of your pocket with a damn dime. So that's what I say. The bare minimum is just get involved share the content, comment on the videos, like the videos, because the algorithm loves when people like the videos. If people aren't liking the videos and sharing it, the algorithm says, nobody's interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys.
No doubt.
If E the L, if he can speak, but if not, after that.
Jabari, E the L is ancient. Ethel, how you?
Hey.
Ethel always be getting me. Ethel always be getting me.
I know.
You know what? Just because she's on, I'm putting myself on mute because this sister's been trying to talk for so long, so I'm not going to say a word.
Yeah, girl, you got it.
Oh, well, I came in kind of late, but in terms of like, even with organization and mismanagement, I think it's kind of like people are playing the games of charades, pretending and being very pretentious with what their real motivations are. Because most of my involvement is in nursing organizations. And after a while, I start asking them, like, why are we still doing this when we're not doing anything new? Every year, it's the same old agenda. It's no new agenda, and it doesn't have any real input for the future. So after a while, I just stopped joining these nursing organizations because it wasn't going anywhere. So, in terms of even looking at Black people, there is this identity problem that a lot of people have. And also a lot of things that I see is a lot of issue with a lot of Black folks just don't even love themselves. That is like where I think I wrote something about it's an illusion where people pretend to be something that they are not. So therefore, with me, I always look at what people actions are and if their actions matches their words. So that's even part of being part of the BAO, because we have actually we get no benefit for being here in America. We just get this name to say, oh, we're born in America, but we don't have the same rights and we don't have the same privilege. So at the end of the day, when you start to see all of this, you can say to yourself, you know what, I might as well put my energy into something else, because I'm not doing anything here, and America is not going to do anything for me. And actually, all you're doing is being exploited by everybody. That's all I got.
Man, it's so good to hear her voice.
It is. It's so great to hear it.
But yeah, I'm pretty much, I've expressed what I'm feeling. It's like what did it for me is the AI program. If I was to tell you what the AI program, son, it's like something that we posted straight on the BAIO website. And this is coming from an AI program telling you what you need to do to start a nation.
Yeah.
So how full of shit are we? We just full of shit. We don't know what we're talking about. Come on, man. We know, and everybody else knows. The problem is people are cowards, people are bitches, and they don't want to do what it takes to obtain power and take things to the next level because they're afraid. They're like that gorilla that's been in a cage for so long. If you open up that cage, the gorilla will not come out of that cage. You can open that cage up and say, all right, you're free. You're free now. Go on. That gorilla is going to stay where it's comfortable because it knows at 3 o'clock, food is coming. At this time, the lights go out. This time I wake up. They got you on a routine and a schedule, and you're comfortable and you ain't going nowhere. Bottom line. And that's why a lot of people get mad at me and get mad at what I'm saying. But the problem is you can't prove what I'm saying wrong. If you want to prove me wrong, then try to get with people of like mind and obtain power. If you're not doing that, you're proving me right because you refuse to stand up and take a piss because you're afraid of what Big Jesse gonna do if he see you.
Yep. And to read these two last statements from Michael McGarry, the best thing for Afro diasporans in Ghana to do is link up with us in the BIO. As Liberian Ghanaians, they'd have more political leverage and serve as a satellite for us. And then the final point, he said, repatriation is fine, power is better.
Thank you. From your mouth to the creator's ears.
And with that, y'all, thank you guys for being here. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you give us a comment. Tell us what you're thinking about this. Make sure you sign up to the website at bilafricstan.org and /register. And we have the lounge to later on tonight. So thank you guys for being here. And remember, management plays a huge part in the success of any project. Don't mismanage and become the face of Black incompetence.
Peace, y'all. Love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.